Thanks, Coach. Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They start the drive with Martin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Throw left side complete. It's Mack. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. First down, here's the run with Martin. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run for it. Martin. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 35-yard line.
Go. 180. Watch one.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And some room to maneuver. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. It was Anthony Averett who got him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hey, 74, 74.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Now Wentz. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Let's go. Do it.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. They run again on 1st down, Martin. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
46-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Jackson to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Ravens 7, Eagles nothing. Justin Tucker set to kick.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. As Sanders has it poked free. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And that takes us from second to third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Wentz. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On first down, it's Sanders. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. There goes Mark Ingram. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now Wentz. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Jalen Ferguson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total.
Check the backer, check the backer. Show it, show it up. Hey, watch it, watch it. Shift, watch the shift.
Now a run with Martin. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he'll be taken down at the 26. That one 28 yards on the ground.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Sidney Jones in on the stop. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want a way to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They'll run on first down. It's Martin. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
It's a gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Jackson looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. Tucker's kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach.
And the ball is knocked out, but I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 38-yard line.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 180!
From the gun, it's Wentz. It's complete left side to Aguilar. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. He'll have a 1st down and more past the 20. And he cuts it right sideline. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. That's a big-time run there by Martin. 63 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Now Martin. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
They come out here in the eye.
Let's go,
They'll run. Martin. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They try again with Martin. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. Running for it. Here's Martin. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. Martin stops short of the goal line. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run. It's Sanders. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now Wentz, I think this is going to be a free play. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. To throw, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, well, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 47 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse, Martin. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Wentz. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Right here.
Wentz going to throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, Drake. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big pickup of 38. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Howard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final. On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down.
A 32-yard attempt.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Ravens, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody.